I'm so serious and I feel like being silly. Shall I be silly? Yeah. So let's have a quick vote then. How many of you would like to hear the new story? Hands only. Okay, how many of you would like to hear Goldilocks and Three Bears? Alright, new story it is. Alright. So this is a really old story. It's a German story, and you can find it anywhere. And it's kind of a cool story because it's about this guy and about this woman. Now Hans was big and strong. He was totally handsome. But he wasn't very smart, right? He wasn't very smart, but his mother loved him, and he had a lot of friends. He was a good guy. And then there was Gretel, and Gretel was the daughter of the local lord. Yeah, local lord. And it came to the point in time when Gretel was old enough to be married off, right? And so the lord looked for suitors, boyfriends, for Gretel. But none of them were good enough. No, his hair's too short. No, I don't want him marrying my daughter. No, he needs to have some hair on his head. No, that's not good enough. And what's with those things? Is that a headphone set you got on? Oh no, it's earrings! I'll put my glasses on next to that. Awfully sorry. Yes, no, anyone with big earrings like that. No, not good enough for my daughter. And he kept going on and on and on. Well, Gretel was hallooed one day by Hans. Hans was walking along and he saw Gretel. He was like, hello. And she's like, oh, hello. And she's like, I like him. And she went over and she started talking to him. And he liked her. And they decided that they'd meet again at the same time next week. And they began to meet more and more often. And Hans decided that, I'm going to ask if I can marry her. And so he made his way to the Lord's castle. He knocked on the door. And the servant, yes, to see the Lord. Yes, I'm here to see the Lord. Is he around? Yes, he's upstairs. Go on upstairs. And they went upstairs. And there was the Lord, and the Lord said, yes, what would you care for? I was wondering, sir, if I could marry Gretel. You want to marry my daughter, Gretel? You're just a common labourer. You're very handsome, very strong. I've seen you working in the village for many people, but no. I need someone who is affluent, shall we say? Well, Gretel heard this. Oh, no, please, Daddy, I want to marry me. We're in love. We've been seeing each other for ages. You have? With a chaperone. And so I said, no. Now, the thing about Hans is he had a reputation for being a very peaceful person. Even though he was big and strong, he didn't like fighting. If he saw people fighting, he'd pull them apart and say, don't do that. Yes! It's not smart. Right? And he didn't like killing things at all, so he never had a gun. He never used a gun in his whole life. And the Lord knew this. And so the Lord said, I want you to be able to provide for my daughter if you're going to marry. So what you're going to have to do is to shoot something that I say you have to shoot with this rifle. And he took down the most beautiful, ornate, fanciest rifle that was on the wall. And Hans is like, okay. Okay. So I've got to be able to shoot this thing, and then I can marry Gretel. Yes, said the Lord. Oh. All right then. I'll try. But Father, you know he's never used a rifle in his life. I haven't. Is there any other? No. I want you to be able to provide food for my daughter. But I've never. I don't care. You have to learn to shoot that rifle. All right. And Hans left. As he was walking, he started fumbling around with the rifle. He found out how to load the rifle, and he found out all the little buttons and the switches to use it. You know, the on and off switch. Right? And he's like, well, I'll give it a shot. I've seen people using rifles, and he picked up the rifle and aimed at this huge oak tree, and he's like, missed. All right. So then he saw this massive, great boulder that was, not that far away, maybe like where the course is like. Missed. And then he saw this great tree stump that was about, 10, 15 feet away, and he's like, Missed. I'll never marry her. Anyway, he went over to the stump, and he sat down on the stump, and he laid the rifle over his lap, and he hung his head. And he heard somebody walking closer and closer, and he looked up, and there was this gentleman all dressed in red. And this gentleman said, "Hey, it looks like the world is upon your shoulders. Is everything all right?" And the hand said, "No, it's not all right. I've got to be able to fire this gun if I want to marry Gretel, my heart's desire. But I can't even hit this stump. I bet if I stood up here and shot at it, I'd probably miss it and all." The man in red, he said, "Well, I can help you with that if you like." "Oh, you can?" Yeah, I can help you with that. I'll tell you what, we'll strike a deal, shall we?" "What sort of a deal?" said Hans. "Well, this is what you're going to do. I will make this rifle hit anything that you want it to hit. Bang on the mark. And for 7 years, you'll be able to marry Gretel. And for 7 years, you'll have marvellous luck. Riches will come to you from all over the place. And at the end of 7 years, you have to ask me a question that I cannot answer. You can have 3 tries. You can ask any question you like, but you can only ask 3 questions. And if I can't answer the question, then your life will continue as it has for those last 7 years. If, however, I can answer one of the questions, and then you will be my servant for the rest of your days. Dead or alive. Deal? So, you'll make my rifle shoot, so I can marry Gretel and have 7 years of good luck, and then if I think of a question that I can ask you, everything will continue nice and rosy, like, that's exactly it. But if I can't ask a question that you can't answer, then I'll be your servant? Yes, that's exactly it. All right, let's do it. And the man produced from his wallet a piece of paper and said, "Just sign your name here, please." That's an awful lot of writing. What does it say? Well, it's just a summary of our conversation. For a summary, it's a big piece of paper. A lot of words on it. "Well, if you want that gun to fire wherever you want it to, you need to sign your name to it." Righty-ho. X. There you go. And so he handed the piece of paper. The man, who was dressed all in red, picked up the rifle and blew down the barrel. Try shooting that rock that you tried shooting at it. Splinters of rock everywhere. Whoa! Bullseye! I hit it! Brilliant, isn't it? What about that tree over there? Well, it's a bit farther away. I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. Oh, a big chunk of wood flew out from the tree. I hit it! Brilliant, isn't it? I wonder if I can do that branch over there. And he aimed at this really small branch of the tree, and the branch fell to the ground. Bullseye! I did it! I can marry Gretel. Thanks, Biff. The man in red had gone. He vanished. He had to go back the next day to the castle, to the lords, and he went back to the castle the next day to the lord, and he knocked on the door, and said, "Oh, yes, come see the lord, don't worry." So he got the stairs. "So do you think you've been able to master the art of gunfire overnight, have you?" "Well, I've been practicing." "Yes, I have." All right, then. They went up to a window, and the lord opened up the window, and he pointed, "Okay, you see that rabbit bouncing around down there? I'd like you to shoot the tail off the rabbit." "Well, that's all right," he thought. "I'm not killing the rabbit, I'm just shooting its tail off. That'll be okay." He's like, oh, I'm sorry, little rabbit. And the rabbit's like bouncing around. The rabbit vanished down its burrow. And the Lord was like, "That was just a warm-up. I just wanted to see if you could use the rifle." "But Father, he just shot something. He doesn't need to shoot anything else." "No, that was just the warm-up. I wanted to make sure he could use the rifle safely." "Yes." "Well, what else would you like me to shoot, your lordship?" "The tails off that bird in the tree, the tail feathers." All right? The bird was much further away. He took his rifle, took careful aim, and Feathers. The bird. Yeah, I was just sitting, and my tail feathers are gone. Another test shot, said the Lord. But Father, he's shot twice now, and he's hit both of the things you've asked him to shoot at. See that hill all the way over there? Yes, sir. There's a man on that hill there, sir. Oh, I see him, yeah. Okay, yeah, I see him. And he's smoking a pipe. All right. Shoot the pipe out of his mouth. From here. From here. Oh. Otherwise you can't marry my daughter. All right. Well, that man said that if I pointed something and shot something, it would hit, right? He said, what if I miss and I kill him? Well, then he'll be hung for murder. That seems a bit steep, seeing as you're telling me to shoot the pipe from his mouth. Nevertheless, you can marry my daughter or not. Okay. Oh, well, we know. He sighted up the rifle. You could just about see through the sights. He's like, oh, I'll drop my rifle. He's going to put that up. There you go. Bang! The man leapt up on top of the hill. He ran down the hill towards the castle. Everyone's looking at him, wondering what's going on. Then they start to hear the little man's voice. We're under attack! We're under... Someone shot the pipe out of my mouth! Oh, it was just mine. I was just sitting there going... No, it's not in it. And bang! We're under attack! No, it's all right, good man. My future son-in-law here was just taking target practice. I asked him to shoot the pipe out of your mouth. He did what? From here? Yes. So, Gretel and Hans were married. You might think that was the end of the story. But it's not. No. How many of you forgot about the man dressed in red? Yeah, alright, some of you forgot about that, right? So, Hans had forgotten about him too. Until the 7 years was almost up, and then he's like, oh, no! We've got to start thinking of questions. Questions that can't be answered. And so he started thinking and thinking. He's like, 2 and 2. No, we all know that one. 3 times 3. No, we all know that one as well. What colour's the sky? No, that changes all the time anyway. And he's thinking and thinking and thinking. And he started to realise that whatever kind of question he came up with, this man in red, who seemed so intelligent, would probably guess the answer. What? What? Okay. You sure? Do you want to share it with anyone? No? Come on, tell me a story. Oh, come on. Fine. Anyway, he started thinking about questions. He couldn't think of anything, and he started to get anxious because he knew that at the end of the 7 years, when his time was up, when he was supposed to go back and meet this fella on that tree stump, but he would lose Gretel. They'd had a couple of kids by now. I like my kids. I want to hang out with my kids. I don't want to see my kids go away. I don't want to go away and see. No. And he stopped eating, and he was getting all upset and everything. And Gretel's like, what's wrong? Oh, I can't tell you. But you have to. What's wrong? You're not eating. You're not sleeping. You're getting sick. I'm worried about you, sweetie. Well, I met this man all dressed in red about 7 years ago, and he told her what had happened. And she's like, he was all dressed in red. Yeah. And it was funny, you know, he didn't have shoes on. He didn't have boots on either. Come to think of it, he never had feet. His feet were cloven, like a cow or a goat. Oh my gosh, she said, you didn't make a pact with the devil. No. Did I? Really? Oops. What are we going to do? I'll think of something, she said. I don't want to leave you. I don't want to go with him for 7. He said, no, me forever and ever, never, 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 never. Oh, be quiet, over. And then she had an idea, and she whispered in his ear. She said, I had no idea what he said. And he said, oh, that might work. And so the day came when Hans was supposed to meet the gentleman dressed in red, and he went with his gun, and he sat and waited on that stump. And the man appeared as if from nowhere, dressed in red. Come along, said the man in red. I was wondering if I could just shoot the rifle one more time. Well, yes, of course you can shoot the rifle one more time, and then we'll go, and you'll be my servant for the rest of your life. And death. All right. I don't know what to shoot. Now, Hans still didn't like shooting animals. He didn't like killing things. And he looked around and looked around. He's like, I don't know. What about that fox over there? Shoot that fox. All right. Nah, it's too close. It's too easy. Find me something else. All right. Through the trees, there's a deer. Shoot the deer through the trees. All right. Oh, big rack on it, eh? Oh. No, I can't shoot that. That's too easy too. And then he saw something leaping through the ploughed field. There were these big furrows in the field, and there was a strange creature that was bouncing in and out. It was covered in all sorts of feathers, and it was flapping its arms, and it was kind of running and scurrying, and then it would leap a little bit, and then it would duck down into behind one of the big furrows. And Hans is like, I think I'll shoot that. Shoot whatever you want, man. Just let's get on with it and go. All right. Keep your easy bit to yourself, mister. And he raised up the gun, and he took careful aim. Now, what the devil didn't know was that creature that was bouncing around in the field there was Gretel. She had gone to the butcher's, and she had got a huge sack full of feathers of all different kinds of birds. She had then covered herself in honey, and then rolled in the feathers, so all the feathers stuck to her. And it was her in the furrows, bouncing around, boing, 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 flapping like a bird, jumping like a boing, jumping like a kangaroo. And Hans took careful aim, and he's like, what do you think that is? I don't know what it is. Just shoot it and let's be gone. All right. Took careful aim, it's bouncing around. I've never seen. Have you ever seen anything like that? No, I haven't. Do you know what it is? No, I don't. No idea.
Oh, that's the question.
I can't shoot it without knowing what it is. Come on! You must know. You're the man in red. Look, I've told you twice, and I'll tell you a third time. I have no idea what it is. Then I don't have to shoot it then, do I? Because I asked 3 questions and you said, you don't know each time. And I know what it is. It's my wife, Gretel. So you can take this gun, mister. And he did. And Gretel and Hans, well, if we live lives as happily as they did, we'll be very happy indeed. And that's the story of Hans and Gretel.